The other day, my phone rang and I saw that my Slim on Starch client Marla was calling me. When I answered the phone, I heard tears on the other end. Hi, Emmie, it's Marla. I'm in the parking lot of my doctor's office. Marla's doctor shared 3 words with her that would change her life forever. And they weren't, I love you. Then we would have a lawsuit on our hands. What were those 3 little words? Let's watch and find out. Hello, my honeys. If you are new here, hey, I'm Healthy Emmie. I'm a nutritionist, a weight loss specialist, and the creator of the Slim on Starch program, where you work with me as well as a mindset coach and a nutrition coach to release weight on a plant-based diet. If you want to do that, then click the link in the down bar.
Let's do it. Well, thank you so much for doing this with me. I'm so excited to share your story, and I think it's going to inspire a lot of women. So, do you want to tell us where your struggles first begin and then how it gets us up to you deciding to join the SOS program?
I think where it hit me, where I felt like I was completely out of control, is when I had my son. And I had him at 39. And I just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it just got to the point where I would do like some different cleanses, and it may work for like a month or so, but then I'll be right back at it. And live in a very, a lifestyle where you work from home and you're always at home in cold weather. I'm an Arizona girl, but now I live in Nebraska. You just hunker down and you just get your what we call get our fluffy on. And and so that's been kind of like for a couple decades. And then menopause hit. And then when menopause hit, so you're layering problems on top of problems. And I just felt like out of control. Like, you try something and it doesn't work. And I just resolved myself probably, when I hit 50, I'm just gonna be fat. I'm just But what really pushed me into being serious and making the phone call, sending that email at night, is my blood pressure started creeping up and it would not go down. And after I turned 53, they put me on blood pressure medicine. Now, blood pressure is directly correlated to kidney failures. And I'm taking care of my father, who is 84, and he's in full renal failure. So he does dialysis, and I did not want that path for myself. And I just remember sitting in the doctor's office just crying. And I'm like, Dr. Quinn, I don't want this. And she was like, listen, I'm going to put you on the blood pressure medicine. I do need you to come down like around 10, 15 pounds. And then we can start having some additional conversations about maybe possibly getting off of it. And she gave me a 90-day subscription. And I was just like, no, I don't want a 90-day prescription of blood pressure medicine at all. And that night, after I cried, I think that's when I sent the email to you going, I need help. If I need help on anything from fixing my car, I go to the expert, I go to a mechanic. If I need help on cleaning my house, I get my cleaning lady. So why aren't I looking to get help to help me understand food, and then help me understand my thinking and my mindset around food? I just didn't know what I didn't know. And that's the reason why I made the call. And I was so thankful that you're like, I can help you. And I said, okay, this investment is for my life. I have a 13-year-old son, and I need to be here for him. Um, and I don't want to stroke out, and I don't want to die. So if that's really top priority for you, you're going to have to change what you do. And that's when you came into my life. You helped me change what I was doing. And it was as simple as, just teaching me. Before I called you, I was reading the book Starch Solution. And I was like, okay, it just makes so much common sense but I was still struggling, like, how do I put this into my life? What does this look like? I am not a recipe girl. I don't like cooking. I I was just lost, and I hit the ground running, and I have not and will not look back on it. So yeah, that's how I got to contacting you with my issues. I just didn't want to die
Yeah,
before I'm supposed.
Yeah, and when we first meet, we have you take a personality test so that we can get to know who you are, because it's such a big part of this. It's not just, oh, this is how we arrange Marla's plate, but who is Marla? And what we learned from that personality test is that your Enneagram is 8, which means you're the challenger. You're the type of person where you get that prescription and you don't say, okay, I'll take it for the rest of my life. You say, this ain't happening. This is temporary. I'm going to take care of this. And that you did.
Absolutely. I mean, I just did not want to get to the point where I'm leaning into medication to live my life, to have at least a halfway decent basic life. And I've seen it in my family. I do my father's meds. It's complicated. And I just did not want that for my son. I didn't want it for my husband. I didn't want it for my father or my mom. I'm fortunate enough to have both of them still with me. And I was just like, you got to do better, and like the old adage, when you know better, you do better. And sometimes I've always been that person that I always will have options. They may not be the options that I want to take, but I always have options. And I felt that as I was driving home from that appointment, I have options. This is not going to dictate how I'm going to live my life. I'm the only person that's going to do that. So you're right. That personality quiz was like, that's me.
Yeah, it's empowering to know yourself that well and use that to your advantage. And I think that you getting prescribed that blood pressure medication opened a door for you that you may never have entered had this challenge not come about. You and I meeting wouldn't have happened unless you had that challenge. And now you've been elevated to a version of yourself and a way of living life that would have never happened in the first place. I know that your son is so proud of you for this, and he loved that you were part of this program. He thought it was the coolest thing. So you have now, yeah, you've started this chapter of your life that is elevated and is inspiring others. You're grateful for your health. This all happened for a reason, to get you to exactly where you were meant to be, which is a version of yourself that you said on one of our most recent calls. You said, I'm actually doing the thing. I'm living the whole food plant-based version of myself. I am that higher, healthier version of me.
Right. And I think the one thing I loved all of my coaches. And at first I was like, a mindset coach, I mean, okay, if it's part of it, I'll do it. But now, hindsight being 2020, you kind of need that. Because if your mind is not where understanding this new information, then your mind is the first barrier for you to actually do something. And so to be able to shift, and I'm not saying it's easy. I would never tell anybody this is an easy process, but my why was so strong that I couldn't let the fear of the unknown or me being uneasy stop me. And that's where I think the power of that mindset coach comes in. And I think I remember the one statement that she said to me as she was kind of reviewing, my journal and everything. And I mentioned that I did not stop to eat. Now I work from home. I can literally take a couple steps and be in my kitchen. But I never would eat lunch. And then I would go and pick up my son from school. And then I would come home and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. So I'm stopping at the Burger Kings and the McDonald's and all of that. And I didn't do that, but I just I just didn't make good choices. And I called it out. I knew I was wrong. I didn't eat lunch, the way I was supposed to. And she said, you know what, Marla? That's an act of not loving yourself. And that floored me. And I was just, what? If you can't take the time to nourish your body properly, that's not love. You're not loving on yourself. And that's when I was just like, okay. So the food is beyond just food. It's about taking care of the vessel that God has given me. And you've got to do it the best way that you know how. And you have this knowledge. And so I mean, I remember I called my mom, I called my sister, and I was like, I been very abusive to myself for decades. And just to hear that one simple statement, you didn't love yourself that day. And I was like, oh man, I didn't. But when she struck that chord in my heart, that's when I was like, okay, this is not a game. This is real life. And as when you're on a flight, they say put the oxygen on yourself first before you can help others. I'm going to be no good to my husband. I'm going to be no good to my son. I'm going to be no good to my father if I don't love myself first. That was that was my aha. My second aha that I had in this program was my primary food. I don't live around a lot of my friends. I've been here in Omaha for 8 years, but I haven't really ventured out. I have a couple of associates, a couple of friends. But I have always been that person that I thrive in a group. I love to be around my friends. And when I made my list of my primary foods, the things that bring you joy, as a mother, as you're taking care of kids and taking care of husbands and taking care of parents, you kind of forget about the stuff that you love. And the first thing on my list, I was like, I've got to reconnect with my friends. I heard you saying, oh, I'm going to go hang out with my friends, and how rejuvenating. I started calling some of my friends, staying on the phone, talking and laughing, and it just filled me up. So the primary foods was my second aha. My third aha in this program was towards the end, that last week, and you were talking about the diminishing return on investment. You can be 100% SOS for the rest of your life. But the same, even if you're like 90 or 80%, you're still going to get the outcome that you're looking for. And I was just like, okay. Because if a program is too prescriptive, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat, because the minute you tell me I can't have something, I'm gonna do it. Going back to that personality. But once you showed me, and you did I love that you're a teacher, because teachers get teachers. You drew a picture, you showed that you're still gonna get the outcome. You don't have to be, no one's 100% on anything. That was my third aha. And as I was kind of exiting, from the first 6 weeks, I was like, I'm equipped, I'm ready to go. And I gave myself grace. And grace is another form of love. And I would always end my messages, Marla first. Marla's going to be first, and she's going to love on herself, and because that's going to make sure that she's able to love on others. And I think that's the thing that I wanted everyone to hear. When I had my doctor's appointment, probably a couple weeks ago, and I went back in, and I'm going to be honest, I was at 180. And when I went into the doctor's appointment, I was at 160. And we both were hugging and crying, because she said, you did it. And she says, as a doctor, if I could just tell everybody it's about what you put into your vessel, that's what's going to make you have your health. She said, but everybody doesn't want to hear that. And, you know, people want medications to allow them to continue to do what they've been doing. And she said, you did it. And you did it beyond just 10, 15 pounds. And I said, I'm still not done because I still haven't hit the goal. I'm close, but I haven't hit the goal. But I was just like, she said, how did you do it? And I'm like, Healthy Emmie. And I said, and I've never been that kind of person that, you know, I'm going to follow a YouTuber because, you know, kids, that's what they do. Everybody wants to follow a YouTuber. And I told her, I said, well, let me just tell you the YouTuber I think you should follow. And I gave her all of your contacts and YouTube channels because she was like, and this is the kind of stuff that I want to share with people who are willing to be open to hear it. And I called you crying in the parking lot that I did it. And I'm still doing it. And as of today, I'm at 157 and I'm 7 pounds away from my goal. And it hasn't been hard because we put all of the pieces in place to allow me to do the natural, you know, steps to do this. And, you know, my sister's like, you got to tell your friends. And I said, it's different because it's so personal. But what I will say, and I did share with my friends, we can't take our health for granted. I have lost too many of my friends because of health issues. And I did not want to have to say goodbye too soon. And so I get emotional and I can't really translate that to, you know, people because people want to argue. Like, and again, I didn't have to use your script, but at first I was like, who would need a script? People are very defensive when you are trying to be the best version of yourself that they're not willing and able to accept at the moment. And, you know, I was just like, you know what? I'm doing this for me and mine. I can share, but this is something that it's a personal journey for yourself. So I don't even engage in the conversation. I don't even engage. You know, I had someone ask me a question like, how many calories are you counting? And I'm like, I don't know because I don't count calories. And then everyone gets into that. Well, this is what I did. And, and I just had to, you know, respectfully, politely say, that's nice, but I don't care. I don't care what you do. And because it's really about me, Marla first. So I just wanted to publicly say thank you. I will say this, I am a woman of a particular age and very proud of it, but we can all learn from each other. And so if you are in a situation where you don't know, it's okay to say you don't know. And the thing that I love is you don't blame, you don't shame, you lift up people through love and acceptance. And if you're looking for an environment, a community like that, you need to sign up for Healthy Emmie today. And not in today's environment, there's not too many people that are just going to accept you for who you are and challenge you for you to be the best that you can possibly be through positive reinforcement, through love and appreciation. And so, yeah, I was just like, I have to tell the world about this. I watched all of your videos of all your past clients and I get it. And it's not, you know, I love how you said one time, it is not a cult. It is not, you know, just do what I say. There's science behind it. She is a nutritionist for a reason. But it's more than that. It's a person who really wants to see the best out of you. And how can you go wrong when you've got cheerleaders like that? I think Danny said one time that I'm in the control, I'm the driver in the seat, in the front seat, and then all of my coaches are on the passenger in the back seat, and they're going, go Marla, go. Go wherever you want to go Marla, go. And you need that sometimes. I used to always tell people, who motivates the motivator? I found my motivators, and I'm very thankful for all of the lessons I'm continuing to use and share. I'll let you know when I hit that 150 mark. I feel like it's going to be soon. And then I go into the maintenance mode. So I just wanted to just say thank you.
As you can see, those 3 little words were
You did it.
Marla is free. She is empowered. She has proven to herself that she can do what she knew she was capable of, but for whatever reason just wasn't able to get there on her own. And she's okay with that. In fact, she loved the idea of hiring a team to empower her. That is what the bosses do. They hire teams of experts to get them to where they want to be. And that's exactly what she did in her personal life. And look where it got her. It got her to the place where she's free from having that shackle of medication. And she's proven to herself that she can heal. Her body can heal. The human body has the incredible ability to heal. The perfect gift to give to herself. If you made it to this point of the video, comment 3 little words. I hope to meet you in the Slim on Starch program. If you're currently a client of mine, I adore you. Thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. Keep on fighting the good fight. I love you, honeys, and we'll see you in the next video.